guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Just a little bit of a backstory on me. My name is Ashley. I am a military spouse. I am new to the military life. I've only been married to my husband for a little bit over a year. He is in the Air Force and he's been in for 6 or 7 years, but we have only been married for a year. So this whole life is new to me. I never had experience in the military, like either dating someone or having any close family members in it. So I didn't really know anything going into this. And I wanted to make this video because I know how nervous I was when I first became a spouse or started dating my husband. I didn't know what to expect because you hear all these things that it's a different lifestyle. And sometimes you hear really bad things, which is really scary. So I kind of wanted to come in and give you guys what I've learned so far. Just so you guys know, this is based on my own experiences. I've been lucky enough that my husband hasn't been deployed yet, so we really haven't had to go through that. But just based off of what we've learned, we've been to 2 bases. This is our second base. So I just kind of wanted to give you that. When I knew I was going to become a new military spouse, I kind of tried to do some research and watching different videos, looking at people's posts that I knew. And it was a little scary because a lot of the times that I've known military spouses what to say, it's always been negative things. I feel like you only hear the negative things about being a military spouse and no one ever wants to talk about the positive things. So that's really scary when you're going in and all you hear is negative, negative, negative. But there is positives. There are some positive things. So this is kind of what I've learned along the way, both positive and negative. When I was researching, I found one tip that has really helped me kind of make this life easier on me. So the first thing that I came across that was really helpful was go into the military spouse mindset, knowing that the military is going to care about their member the most. They're going to care about them and take care of them, and they're not going to really care about your feelings or how you feel towards different situations. They'll have expectations that your husband's going to be able to get off holidays or special occasions. And if you have the mindset that you know, okay, he's going to try to get, let's say, a holiday off, he or she, whoever your spouse is going to get a holiday off and they don't get it off, then if you know that's a chance that that's not going to happen, then when it comes back as, hey, sorry, I have to work, it's not that hard of a blow on you. So just go in knowing that there are going to be some holidays and special occasions that you're gonna have to spend by yourself or not with your significant other like you thought. You might have to go hang out with family on Christmas on your own without your spouse. I mean, some people do that. Some people just hang around and wait for the spouse to get off of work and then celebrate. So I think that's one thing to look at, is go in with an open mindset that don't have expectations. The second thing that I kind of learned, which I learned back when I first became a spouse, one of the very first things that I learned was it is very difficult to have a full-time job as a spouse and get things done that you need to when you're new. So for me, it was getting my military ID, and since my husband was getting stationed overseas, I had to get an official passport and do all these paperwork for it. I had to go in and make meetings because we were going overseas. I did have to take a medical and dental exam, and basically my doctors had to clear me so that I can come here, and we're in a different country now. But having a full-time job was really difficult to schedule all that around. The appointments for all that was during normal work hours, so I would have to take off a few hours of work just to get those things done. We did live and I did work an hour away from the base that my husband was at, so I did have to take an hour to drive to the base, get everything done, and then drive back and work. Or I would just take off from work early and try to get like the last appointment of the day. So I either try to get the very first one at like 7:30 when they opened, or I try to get the last one at like 4:35, whenever the last one was. So I would have to take a significant time off of work just to get things done and handled. And that was really stressful for me, myself, because I didn't like taking off of work to get personal things done. That's just me. So that was something I found a little bit difficult. I do understand why a lot of military spouses don't work. It's just easier sometimes to not have to take off of work and get in trouble or, I don't know, constantly have to do that. So I don't work right now, but you never know. Probably we'll go back to work if we ever go back to the States where there's more jobs. The third thing that I learned was making friends is not as easy as I thought it would be being in the military lifestyle. So I thought that, all the other spouses are all going through the same thing that I am. We're all can relate on a level, I guess I could say, but I didn't realize how difficult it would be, or just meeting people, I guess. I think a lot of it has to do with your spouse's squadron that they're in and how often they do things together. Like my husband's squadron doesn't really do that much, or if they do, I don't know, maybe we just never go and we're not invited. I have no idea. But I do see, because I live on a street where there's a lot of pilots, I do see that community, the pilot community does get together quite often. So they all can bond over that. Another thing is we don't have any children, so I can't bond with any other spouses that have children. I see, when I walk my dogs, there's groups of kids and their moms or parents, I don't know, hanging out together as their kids play. So we don't get that benefit of having things to relate to people. But I think it just depends on your spouse's squadron and how often they get things together as a community. But I definitely thought it was going to be a lot easier. It's probably going to change in a couple months when my husband does go to pilot training. I think that community is a little bit more closely knit. So maybe I'll have tons more friends in a few months. We'll see. The last thing that I learned and was pleasantly surprised about of how, I don't know if I want to say civilized, I guess the bases are. Like I said, I had no experience with ever dating anyone in the military or close family, so I didn't know what a military base consisted of and what was on here. I just kind of thought that it was a bunch of buildings where the military members just worked, or wherever that was all that was on a military base. But I was pleasantly surprised to know that there is a commissary, which is like a grocery store, for those of you that don't know, or there's a BX or exchange PX, whatever you want to call it, whatever branch of the military your spouse is in. But that's basically a department store. So there's a department store here. They have a nail salon, hair salon. They have a spa where you could get massages and facials done at. There's a barber on base. What else do they have here? There's a florist. So if you ever need to get your spouse flowers, there's a florist here that they can deliver flowers for you. There is a bunch of different food places. So there's a few restaurants, but they do have fast food, like Burger King, Popeyes, there's Taco Bell, Subway. They have Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin Robbins here. There's probably a few more that I can't think of, but yeah, there's some food options for you if you want to get some quick food. I didn't know that they were going to have a bank here. So I think the bank here is Navy Federal Credit Union. So we don't have that, so I don't use it, but that's really convenient if you do. You don't have to go off base to use a bank if you need those things that you need in the bank. I don't know. Would you go for a bank for checks? I haven't been to one in a long time. But it's convenient for you if you need that there. My favorite thing is that they have arts and crafts center and a wood shop here. So if you're crafty and you want to make things, they have an arts and crafts center. It's like a miniature, very miniature Michael's. So they have craft supplies that you can grab, paints, brushes, I don't know, felt, glue, stain, whatever else you need to do crafts at. They have those here. And they put on classes, so you can do a wine and paint night, and you can paint ceramics, and you paint them, they'll bake it, and you come pick it up. The wood shop here is really cool. They have every freaking electric tool, I don't even know, tools you need to build anything. So you just take some time out to pay for your time using in the wood shop and then clean up after yourself, and it's really cool. They also have classes where you can learn to build things. I learned how to build a blanket ladder, and that's how we got our blanket ladder. I built it myself. There's an outdoor rec center here. It's like a little store with outdoorsy stuff in it, but you can also rent things from, which is really cool. This space is on a lake, so they will rent out kayaks and longboards, jet skis. You can get a small boat to go out on the lake on, which is really cool. Just a bunch of activities that you can do with your family. There's also ITT, which I cannot think of what the I stands for at this moment, but it's tickets and tours or something, or the T's. I don't know. Anyways, it's a thing where they put on, where you can go and get tickets for different amusement parks, or concerts, or you can book a trip. We've done a few trips. We went to Tokyo Disney, and we've done some like light festival trip where it's like shopping, and then at night there's like a big light ceremony. I think I've made videos for all these things that we've done, so I'll definitely link them in the video. And then we did a Japanese wine tour, which was really fun. So that was really nice because they take care of everything. You just have to pay. They'll take care of transportation. They'll take care of, well, because we're in a different country here, they'll have a translator for you. And it just really makes things a lot easier so you don't have to plan things out yourself. So that was really nice. This is an air base. They have a golf course. I think most Air Force bases have golf courses. Majority of them, I think, at least do. But this is just an air base because it's kind of mixed. There is a paintball area. So if you have a paintball gun, I think you might be able to rent them here. We haven't gone yet, but you can get a group of friends together and rent it out and have fun shooting paintballs at each other. Is it trap and skeet? Is that the word, trap? Where you like shoot, or you throw the thing and like shoot it? Pew pew. There are tons of playgrounds here if you have like children. Like literally in every single street there's a playground for children. So there's lots of them. There isn't just one, there's lots of them. So I really like that they make it easily accessible to do things here for activities, or like I said, going to the grocery store to buy things that you need for food, just because I know majority of the bases are kind of secluded away from big cities or towns, so you don't have to drive far into town to get things done. You can do them on base, which is really nice. And they really make it easier to live here, because I really didn't know what to expect. I thought living here was going to be so much harder, but I'm so thankful for everything here, especially when you're in another country and you don't speak the language. It's just easier to have things on base that you know. Like, I like going to the Japanese grocery store for things like Japanese stuff that I know that I need, but trying to get my normal food is kind of difficult. It takes twice as long for me to grocery shop there. So going in to the commissary is really nice to have when I just know what I need and I can see it and grab it and know what it is. So yeah, those are some of the few things that I've learned so far as a new military spouse that I think majority of those were positive. Maybe one or two is just a little difficult, but my experience so far has been great. I haven't come into contact with anyone that's been rude or anything with me, mostly because I don't really go out, I guess. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!